Hello and welcome to the Connectors Marketing Plan Workshop. This lesson is brought to you by Quikscribe, the #1 digital transcription software for doctors, lawyers, and business professionals. Before we get started, a quick word about Quikscribe. Quikscribe's mission is to help you streamline your office operations by reducing the time and costs involved in turning around your transcription projects. Our innovative digital transcription system makes it possible for you to increase efficiency and to decrease costs, delay, and idle time amongst your staff. As part of our mission, we make these short educational lessons available to the business community as our effort to improve opportunities for businesses to grow and prosper. We hope you enjoy this lesson. And now, let's talk about your marketing plan. My name is Glenn Garnes, and I will be your presenter today. A few words about my background that will help you better understand my experience in what I'm about to share in this lesson. I'm actually a retired attorney who worked primarily with small business owners for the majority of my legal career. During the course of my practice, I spent most of my time developing relationships with referral sources rather than advertising to seek out new clients. And so everything that I know to do is centered around helping you to build a business centered around referrals. During the course of this presentation, we'll talk in greater detail about why that's important. I'm also the author of 2 books, one of which is directly related to the subject matter of this presentation. That book is called Small Business CEO Essentials to Business Networking. The other book, Let's Not Be Partners, is about making proper choices when you choose to go into business with others. So with that understanding, let's talk a little bit about why we're here today and what we're going to cover. Whenever I do this workshop live, I find that most of the people that attend are getting some level of business coming from referrals, but they do spend a great deal of time and effort in other advertising vehicles, including pay-per-click, social media marketing, advertising in print media, and even on the radio. So when we talk about the Connectors Marketing Plan, we're talking about increasing the number of people who come to you as a client or a customer or a patient based on referrals. And there are 3 very important reasons why relationship marketing should be important to you. The first is that referrals create consistent results. When you invest in a marketing campaign, you can usually expect to get results during the course of that campaign's lifetime. When you invest in building relationships with people who can get you in front of the people you're seeking to serve, you could literally receive referrals for the lifetime of that relationship. Referral marketing, relationship marketing, also reduces advertising costs. And of course, I have found in my business that it reduces price resistance and haggling. What I mean by that is that when people come to you based on a referral, they have a tendency to haggle with you over what you charge and the circumstances under which you provide your services less than when people are simply responding to an ad. Most people responding to an ad are shopping around, and most people that respond because they've been referred are coming to you because somebody else has gotten a good result with your services. So a few preliminary thoughts. My experience has been that in order for you to be successful with your marketing, you must have your plan in writing. So I'm going to encourage you to make sure that you make that a priority. The second thing is that you want to make sure that you avoid shotgun marketing. And what I mean by that is that it's very tempting to simply go out and invest your money in a variety of different marketing vehicles without giving clear and concise and deliberate thought to what you're trying to accomplish. We want to encourage you to think first and invest second. So part of that is having a plan. When you have a plan, it makes it less likely that you will engage in impulse shopping when it comes to your marketing. And the third thing that will be important is for you to be patient and open-minded. And what I mean by that is that you shouldn't expect to see results overnight. However, if you take the right steps and you do it consistently, it does not have to take forever for you to start to see results. This marketing plan process that I've created is exactly what I did in my own business, even including my law firm. And so as you go through this process, understand that this is something that I've done, that I know works, and I'm going to be encouraging you to make it part of what you're doing, because I can shorten your learning curve if you follow what I'm about to share with you. So the first element of your marketing plan is your business description. We're going to talk in greater detail about how to create that business description shortly. The second thing that we're going to talk about is your target market. The third element of your marketing plan is your strategic partners or collaboration partners. And you're going to see there where you really start to get the muscle out of this marketing plan concept. The fourth element is your marketing budget. And you'll be surprised to know that the amount of money you have available to market is probably not even the most important part of your budget. The fifth thing is your marketing strategies. Now notice that the marketing strategies are last. After we've done the first 4 steps, after we've done our homework, only then are we going to talk about marketing strategies. Most people get it backwards. They're investing in marketing strategies before they've even given thought about these other 4 elements. So, with that in mind, let's go into greater detail on each of these elements. Your business description, I like to start there. I feel that this is one of the most important places to start because most people I talk to don't have a concise way to describe what they do in a way that makes people understand it and want it. So first and foremost, we want to be able to describe your business in a way that highlights the benefit of what you do to the end user. Most people use descriptive terms like I'm a lawyer, I'm a real estate agent, I'm a mortgage broker, whatever it might be, rather than explaining to people in the description what it is that they do and how it is that they benefit from using your services. So basically, you want to get in the habit of describing to people the problem you solve for them, whatever that might be. When you can do that in 2 sentences or less, it will pique their interest enough for them to invite a more detailed description. And what you want to do in this context is to invite a dialogue so that now it's a conversation, not a sales pitch. The second element of your marketing plan is identifying your target market. Now, I want you to write that name down, target market, write that phrase down, and then I want you to put an X through it, because that's the last time we're going to characterize your patients or your clients or your customers as a target. I want you to start thinking about using a phrase like ideal client. It changes the energy around your entire effort to get in front of the people you're seeking to serve when you look at them as ideal clients and not your target market. I would also encourage you to get out of the habit of using phrases like prospects and leads. Again, nobody is excited about being a prospect or a lead for you. They may be excited about being one of your future clients, especially if they find out that you treat your clients well. So the first thing I want you to think about is, who is your ideal client? Not everyone who could consume your service is necessarily an ideal client for you, so be a little bit more discriminating about who it is that you're looking to serve. You also want to consider whether you have a niche product or service. And what I mean by that is something that you specialize in. When I talk about niche, I'm not talking about the people you serve, I'm talking about the thing that you do for them. So you may have an ideal client base of people over the age of 55, maybe because they are, preparing for retirement or whatever. Your niche is what you do for those people. You also want to then think about whether you have a unique selling proposition. Not everyone needs to have a unique selling proposition per se, but if you do, you want to be clear on what that is. If you desire to create a unique selling proposition for yourself, the best way to do that is to look at what your competitors do and find something you can add to the mix to put you just a little bit further ahead of them in the eyes of the customer. One of my favorite parts of marketing through relationships is this next exercise, this next section called the Strategic Alliance Partners. Your Strategic Alliance Partners, the concept is very simple. You want to align yourself with people who serve the same ideal client you're looking to serve with products and services that are either complementary to yours or at least products and services that don't compete with yours. And the reason for that is that these people are most likely to be able to get you introduced to your ideal client in the most efficient way possible. They are like you, dealing with these folks all the time, and it becomes more natural for them to make a referral to you than people who are not serving the same clientele that you're looking for. So the first thing I want you to do is to make a list by industry of people who would serve as a good strategic alliance partner for you. And the best way to do that is to pull out a copy of the Yellow Pages. In fact, that's about the only thing it seems to be good for anymore these days, as a memory jogger to remind you of the different industries that may be a good fit to get you in front of your ideal client. Once you have your industry list, and you should end up with at least 15 or 20 different industries that are a good fit to connect you with the people you're seeking to serve. Once you do that, you then want to write next to those industries the names of people you already know who are in those industries, especially if they're people that you'd like to do business with in terms of a referral relationship. Now, where you find that you have gaps, if you don't know someone in the industry from the people you already know, the next step would be for you to get introduced to people in those industries, either from the people that you know or by connecting with them through social media like LinkedIn or going to business networking events. Now, when you have a list of people that you absolutely are looking to get connected to, your business networking will be more productive because when you go to a networking event, you'll know exactly who you're looking to get introduced to. So this is a very important part of the exercise. It's very simple, but it is very important. The next element of your marketing plan is your budget. And as I told you, money is only one factor, possibly not even the most important factor. The truth is that I can help people who are on any type of monetary budget to build a business through relationships as long as they're committed to a few simple processes and a few simple concepts. But if you are one of the people who is typical of the type of person I work with, you typically have some money and some time available to invest in your marketing. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down the figure that you are going to invest in your marketing, the monetary figure that you're going to invest. And what I mean by going to invest is that sometimes people will tell me the figure they would invest if they had it. That's not going to help you because when it's time for us to start implementing marketing strategies, if it was a theoretical figure, then your marketing plan will be a dream. We want to make sure that you're working with the figure you're absolutely capable of moving forward on if you choose to. So the figure you use for this exercise should be broken down monthly. And the reason for that is that you want to make sure that whatever marketing strategies you choose, that you're able to do them consistently. If you have $1,000 to invest in your marketing, you don't want to go to a trade show in month one and have nothing left for the rest of the year. Choose marketing strategies that create consistency rather than a one-shot deal. Once you know the monetary amount that you're going to invest in your marketing, the next step is for you to decide how much time you're going to invest in your marketing. Just like the monetary figure, the amount of time that you will consistently invest in marketing your business is very important. Let's say, for example, that you have 20 hours a month to invest in your marketing. I want you to break this figure down on a weekly basis, not monthly. And the reason for that is that many of us, because of human nature, we will have a tendency to wait till the last day of the month to try to squeeze 20 hours into 24 hours, and we all know that that won't work. So if you have 20 hours a month to invest in marketing your business, break it down weekly, 5 hours a week. Let's say, for example, you're a lawyer or a doctor or a business professional, real estate agent, something like that. You might invest in week one in going to a business networking event. It's about 30 minutes out, 30 minutes back, and each event is probably some in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 hours. So you've got about 3 to 4 hours invested in the average event each week. The second week, you use that time to follow up with the people who you met at the networking event. And what that does is it puts you into a rhythm where you go to an event and then you schedule time to follow up with the people who are a good fit for you to know. You go to the event and you follow up with people who are a good fit for you to get to know. And if you did that consistently over the course of a 12-month period, you would have enough referral sources to keep you flush in referrals consistently. So that's just one example of how you might use 20 hours a month in marketing your business. And if that's all you did, even if you didn't have a cash amount that you could invest, you would find yourself becoming more successful and generating more and more of your business through referrals. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some potential marketing strategies. And it's not my intention to cover with you every single thing you could do in marketing your business. I'm going to cover enough of these that you can get a general flavor for why it is important for strategic alliance partners to be included in the mix here. We actually have a second lesson called 10 Ways to Market for about $1 a day that give you ideas on what you would be doing with your strategic alliance partners. So I just want to give you an idea of what that might look like here so that you in turn would understand the importance of working together with others in collaboration. So let me talk with you a little bit about what I call collaborative marketing. Collaborative marketing is when you work together with other business professionals who are all looking to reach the same ideal client base with the intention of making it possible to leverage and stretch your economic resources and to create a better result because everyone is working together. So I'll give you an example of one collaborative marketing strategy that I think is probably the simplest one that I've ever come up with, which is known as the collaborative mailer. Let's assume that you have 10 collaboration partners who are part of your collective group. And let's assume that each of your collaboration partners has 100 people on their mailing list, 100 customers with whom they have a relationship. The way a collaborative mailer works is pretty simple. You get together with your collaboration partners. Each of you has 100 envelopes. You each put your business card in the envelopes. That means that you'll end up with 1,000 envelopes that each have 10 business cards in them, one business card from each of you. But instead of just dropping that in the mail to your clients, you're going to send a letter along with it that says something like this. Dear John, from time to time, my clients ask me to recommend people that do things that I don't do. I've enclosed the business cards of people I trust to do a good job for you if you're in the market for any of these services. I've also arranged for you to receive a discount if you choose to work with them, so please be sure to mention my name so they know to take care of you. Now, once you have your envelopes together, you then are going to work with your referral partners to mail your envelopes to the people that you know on your list. So that means that each of your 100 people is going to receive a letter from you enclosing business cards of people you trust to do a good job for them. And I think that you can already see why that will be much better than the sales pitch that normally comes when you get coupons in the mail through a direct mail piece. And the other thing that's nice for you, and each of you, by the way, is that you're now reaching 1,000 people for the cost of 100 stamps. Because you'd be surprised how many times a letter from you also encourages one of your existing clients or customers to come back to you or to make a purchase with you as well. So you are actually reaching 1,000 people for the cost of 100. So this is a very powerful marketing strategy. It's probably one of the best ones that you can do, especially when you're just getting started with your collaboration partners. Now, there are some other things that you can do that get a little bit more fancy, not complicated, but they're a little bit more involved. For example, creating a collaborative marketing website. A collaborative marketing website where each of your referral partners and you have a page on that website, and you work together using social media and other types of strategies to steer traffic to that collaborative marketing website. And on that website, you share articles and information about your areas of expertise and tips and information that would be relevant to the target market. We're not going to use that term again. The ideal client that you're looking to serve. We're going to go into greater detail about some of these other strategies in the lesson entitled 10 Ways to Market for about $1 a day. And I think you'll get a better flavor for how you can improve the leverage that you get by working together with other business professionals who seek to serve the same ideal client that you do. I would encourage you to take this seriously. This little 5-step process is probably one of the most effective ways for you to reach your ideal client cost effectively and efficiently. So I hope you found this lesson helpful. If you have questions, feel free to contact us through Quikscribe, and I'll be happy to assist you any way that I can.